Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code Mase, Cam, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
Murder, what's good? How you, man?
Chilling, man.
That's what's up. Yo, can I give a shout out real quick?
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the second generation of the Aaron Rodgers. You know, I was in years ago, like, the girl who made this bag, she didn't even finish it. I was like, just send it anyway. But I was in Italy with Mariah a long time ago, and I met this family who makes paints on bags and all type of shit. And then it trickled down to their daughter. They just got to America, and now they're doing art. It takes like 3 weeks to do a bag. They do everything hand paint. Actually, I just wanted to play a video real quick, Nick. Can we play a video of their art real quick? That's cool. They make everything by hand. So I'm going to give them a little shout out, put their email at the bottom. But this is Gene Aratoli, third generation artist. It's real detailed shit.
See that stat?
Hand painted.
Yeah, they do everything by hand. And by eye. It ain't like no tracing, none of that shit. So
They putting roses on the bag?
it's roses on there, yeah. That shit tough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so. All right, Nick, I just wanted to show that. But yeah, Murder, it's the bag I got for you for Christmas.
Woo!
My man Murder. So I just want to take it out.
I knew he was up this time.
Yeah, man. I'll see if you like that. But Aratoli Art, if I put their email at the bottom if you want to get with them. Make sure it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get that shit done, man. So.
Now all I need is a plane. I gotta get off. Get off there with the demons in the tube.
Yeah, Nick, zoom in on that. That's real art right there, man. That's my hand crafted in, man. So
fire.
Shout out to the Aratoli family, man.
Shout out to the Aratoli family.
It shit took like 2-3 months to do, man.
Who is the lady on there?
I just told her to be.
I like the details. You know?
I told her to be detailed. Like, she gave me some pictures of some people, and I just picked that lady out. I don't know her.
Yeah,
You know it's fire.
Yeah. I was gonna put some money in there, but it ain't no money in there right though. I was gonna put 4,000 singles, but
that's all, nigga. I was gonna put bag. More, I know it's something in the bag. Nigga carrying the bag.
Yeah, man.
Whoever this is calling me early in the morning, nigga call with gifts, man. Pause.
Yeah, early Christmas good for Murder.
Yeah,
so.
thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Super, super dope. And today we are joined with our analyst, Maurice Clarett. Maurice, how you feeling?
All is well. That's a very nice bag, man. Shout out to the people who've done it, but it's great. It's a great Friday. Great to be alive, and Christmas right around the corner.
What's up, Mo? How you
Yeah,
doing?
Mo, what's up with you, man?
I feel festive. Y'all see my background. Christmas time, baby.
Oh, man, it is what it is. Christmas is looking good, man.
Yeah, a little shout out to my family. They did it for me. They wanted me to be festive, and so they just came out here and threw it together for me.
Is
so
that a real fireplace?
That's the TV.
Oh, that's the TV, Mo. I was about to say, nigga put the fireplace on the roof.
Nah, that's the TV. Technology, baby.
I like that. I like that.
It looked good,
Set
though.
up.
Looks
Yeah.
really nice.
Looks good.
Okay, so before we get started, Cam, I gotta ask you because
What's
people keep asking me.
What's good?
Nia Moore,
What about her?
she did a Skims campaign.
Yeah.
Did you see it, and what did you think?
I mean, I follow her. I was scrolling on her page. I didn't know if it was Skims. Is that the one with like her thighs? She got like a onesie on?
The tent, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it and commented. I didn't know it was Skims, but I follow her, so I seen it. The only reason I know what you're talking about is because I follow her and I seen it, and I liked it and I comment. I started liking all and commenting on all her pictures, but I didn't know it was Skims.
Yeah.
Whatever she got on is fine with me.
Fire. Just had to ask because everybody was asking. I was like, you know what? Let me ask him and see what he thinks.
Yeah,
So,
I thought it was nice.
Dope. Okay, so let's start with this Thursday night football game. So Bo Nix and the Broncos lost to the Chargers 34-27. The last time the Broncos were in the playoffs was in the 2015 season. So the Broncos have an 86% chance of making the playoffs. Maurice, do you think they'll make it? And then what did you think of this game versus the Chargers?
I don't see them making the playoffs. Just the performance. Well, in the first half, I thought Bo Nix played lights out, and I didn't even think it was going to be a game for the Chargers in the second half. I was like, Bo Nix got off to a hot start. They were moving the ball at will, and I think it was like 21-6 or 21-something going into halftime. And then whatever Harbaugh said to Justin Herbert and the Chargers, these guys completely came out in the second half, and it was like the inverse of what was going on. These dudes just came out and essentially just dominated the second half and took the game away from them. Shout outs to both of the running backs, because on that last drive or the second to last drive, the one kid had probably like a 50 to 55 yard run, and then the other touchdown that the other guy converted from a check down pass. But I don't see them making the playoffs. But shout out to Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers for being defeated basically in the first half and then coming and taking the game back in the second half.
I mean, I think it's really, really great that they won this way, because I remember early in the season, Michael Irvin saying that this was the format that they were going to go with, that they were working on this running game, because somewhere down the line this was going to come into fruition, that it'll be the reason why they win some later games. So that's what I really remember watching this game. So when they go for this run, that's about 50 yards like that you're talking about, the first thing came to mind was, this nigga Mike said this. I hope he's not on TV today, because I hate to hear his voice today and say he said this. But, I'm not ready to give up on the Broncos just yet. There's a little Oregon alumni thing going on. Bo Nix, pause. I'm looking forward to them sneaking in the playoffs. Maybe they could sneak in.
Yeah, Mo, I think you called the game exactly right. I watched this game all the way through, contrary to what people believe when they say we're not watching all the games. I'm just not watching the games that don't mean anything where I can't get my time back. But I actually watched this game because it had playoff implications and possibly who's going to make the other team from that division who's going to make the playoffs. You called it right. The Broncos played lights out rarely to the end of the first half, probably to the last few minutes of the first half. And then the second half, they came through. I remember it was an underdog pick yesterday of Justin Herbert was going to rush for 10 yards. And he ended up rushing for 28. He did a really good job running. And then you mentioned it, Edwards, that last run towards the end of the game when he picked up about 30, 35 yards, and then that pretty much sealed the deal. I think he's an exceptional coach. He's good, but I don't really like Sean Payton that much, so I wasn't mad that they lost. I really, really do like Harbaugh, though. He's such a player's coach. You could see it. They went for a 2-point conversion and didn't get it, and he was on the field saying, "Don't worry about it," hitting their players or smacking them on the helmet, headbutting them with no helmet on. Pause. And he's a player's coach. And so I like his attitude. But I do want to see, I don't know who has a tougher schedule out of the Chargers and Denver, but that's what it's going to boil down to. Right now, the Chargers are winning because of the tiebreaker, but they have the same record. And whoever has a better record, I think not even think that's going to make the playoffs, but I don't know either one of them schedule. But what I would like to see.
To answer your question, Broncos play the Bengals, then the Chiefs, and the Chargers play the Patriots, then the Raiders.
Look like the Chargers is going to make. Because look, let's be honest with you. Look, if you're the Patriots, Raiders, or the Giants, you're not allowed to win. Like, y'all are all lined up for great draft picks. Y'all will be stupid to win a game. So this is exactly what the Chargers needed. This is guaranteed wins for them. So it looks like the Chargers will make the playoffs. What's interesting is they play earlier this year, but who knows if the Chargers might end up playing Baltimore again and we never have another Hard Bowl and see what happens with that. That'll be even crazier in the playoffs. They played against each other in the Super Bowl, which was crazy. Now they're in the same conference. We'll see what happens there, but I'm happy for Harbaugh.
Nice. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, something else came about. So he talked about the state of sports media. He said there's a lot of people talking about the game now, both non-former players and former players who are trying to stay relevant fame-wise. So the takes and the criticism, I think, are a lot different than they were maybe back in the mid-2000s. Ryan Clark, another analyst, fired back and said, I find it extremely funny that he's saying this on a show with a man who, as he was a punter, is far more famous as a pundit in Pat McAfee. AJ Hawk, who I felt like was a good player, is now on TV, and he gets to give his thoughts as well. They've actually been feuding back and forth because Rodgers feels like he said what he said. Ryan Clark feels like he's being hypocritical. So Maurice, do you think that Aaron Rodgers is being a hypocrite? And then how do you feel about the state of sports media right now?
I think Aaron Rodgers is just in his feelings. Sometimes it is hard for peers to hear other guys talk about their play. Like when you have someone who's just a media personality and they talk about you and they criticize you, it's easy to say like you've never been a part of this, right? And you don't give them as much validity as somebody who's played the game actually. But there's nobody who plays the game that's above reproach, right? If you're playing horribly and somebody just states it, you feel some type of way. So your only way to attack him is to say, you didn't do what I did. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you're still playing bad football, right? And I think that, when Aaron Rodgers stepped away from it and realized like, I was just in my feelings and I didn't like what he said. So I personally attacked Ryan. But Ryan didn't say anything bad or crazy. He's just reporting the facts. And I'm pretty sure we've been all a part of that same thing where you're just reporting the facts on somebody. And if somebody doesn't like it, they'll say something personal that doesn't have anything to do with the main thing. But the nature of the beast is this, right? You have more podcasts, you have more players who have played that are now transitioning into media, and you're just going to have personalized opinions or different perspective from people who actually did it. And so it's just Aaron Rodgers' personality. It's like, he's a different guy. I don't want to say good or bad, but he's just different. And I just think it's like the spoiled kid mentality where you're mad that somebody's criticizing you.
Well, actually, Eric Spoelstra never played. He's a championship coach.
I mean,
you got Bill Belichick, never played. So what are we saying by saying these people never played? That's not saying much. This is the guy that won 6 championships as a coach. So clearly he knows something, and clearly he didn't have to get it from playing. So I think when people say that, I used to say that as well. But the people who are not complaining about the takes from people that are doing well. People that do well don't have to buy into that because they're balling above reproach. Instead of thinking you're above reproach, how about balling above reproach? Let's take that take and do something with that. Pause. Killer's on you.
Yeah, this is probably the most I'm trying to say and think. This is probably the worst he played in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And so he might not know how to handle that. They're not in the playoffs. They're officially eliminated. I'm sitting here trying to think when Aaron Rodgers wasn't a contender. He always had, whether they won the Super Bowl or not, since he's been a starting quarterback as far as I can remember since Brett Favre left, maybe not the first couple of years, he's always at least been a contender. He's not a contender. It was even to the point where they were thinking about benching him at one point this year. And it's like, Aaron Rodgers, he just won a MVP 3 years ago, back to back, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So from 3 years ago to now, it's a big disparity in his play and his team's record. I know he's on a different team, and he might not know how to handle it. Back to what Ryan Clark is saying, to be honest with you, we sit here and talk to former football players, former Super Bowl champions, not just football players, all pro, all college champion. And punters was main thing I heard is punters are not really respected like that. I know Pat McAfee's a different type of animal. He does WWE and all type of other shit. But you go on his show every week, and to me, you kind of solidify Pat McAfee by being on his show every week during football season to get Pat McAfee to where he's at as a broadcaster or as an analyst or as whatever it is. I agree with Ryan Clark 100%. It's really contradictory. But I just think that, more like Mo said, you're in your feelings because you're not playing good, and you haven't played this bad that I can even remember, to be totally honest with you. But it comes with the territory, man.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers before last season was like one of my best or one of my favorite players in football, period. But to see like how things can change after a few years, it seems crazy that you could just lose so much so fast. And we're not saying this as like really critiquing him. We're just speaking like OJ said. You're just saying the obvious, Mase. I'm just saying what's obvious, and when you think about trying to negate a person because they never played the sport, even when we think about Popovich, a guy that's won 5 championships and considered one of the greatest coaches of all time, he never actually played on that level. So you gotta question a lot if that's what we're going with. If you're saying because a person never boxed, they can't see you're getting knocked out, that's a crazy take. But we'll let you have that.
Hey,
I'll say this. No, Cam actually pointed out something I've not even heard in the media. Like, this is probably the first time in his career, probably from college, that he's ever had heavy criticism about not performing well. And like, we might be publicly seeing him react to it just on Pat McAfee's platform. So I didn't think about that. I just wanted to make sure I said that.
yeah. And just to kind of add on to that, I think we've all seen the landscape of sports media. People are just a lot more truthful. I think before you kind of had to walk on eggshells. There was a lot of repercussions. You couldn't say this about certain people. Now you can. And it's all going at Aaron Rodgers. And clearly he's not used to that. So he's in his little sad bag. But
and we're on this show, we don't bash anyone. We just try to be even about what's really going on.
right.
And the thing about it is Aaron Rodgers all season never took accountability for his own play. Like every week it was, well, the coach is this, or I needed this, or they didn't run the route. Or not. He would take accountability after he dissed somebody. Like he would diss somebody and then be like, but I got to play better. He never not one week you ever said it's my fault. And all quarterbacks do that, whether it's their fault or not. The coaches and the quarterback get the glory, and then when they don't play good, you've never heard Tom Brady be like, they wasn't running routes right. Oh, our defense was. He takes accountability.
He even said, "I don't make those decisions."
Yeah, that's the point. He's not taking accountability, and when you're a quarterback, you get the glory, and when you're not doing good, you're gonna get the bashing from certain people. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So kind of last comment on the discussion, because like I said, Aaron Rodgers and Ryan Clark have been going back and forth. So Ryan Clark fired back again and spoke on Aaron Rodgers and said, this dude is a fraud. He's been a fraud. He can throw a football and that's where it stops. Once that talent ends, so does he. And to sit up there and to just be blatantly hypocritical is funny and sickening at the same time. So Maurice, do you go as far as to agreeing with that? Or do you feel like, all right, like they need to relax?
No, I don't know Aaron Rodgers personally, so I don't know where the fraud comments come. Him and Ryan probably have some other relationship, and a lot of stuff when people say that, it's like loaded with like past experience or something that I don't know.
Personal stuff.
But Aaron Rodgers made $300 million. He ain't over. You know what I'm saying? And he got a fan base all around this country and people who love him and agree with him. So I don't think he's over. I just think this is a moment between those two that's basically being displayed publicly.
And I would double down, pause on on your take is that I was listening to something even Killer was saying before we was on the show, and it's really true. It's possible to like somebody's music. We know that from being artists, and don't like them as a person, but you can't deny that they're a good talent. And the opposite is true. There's times when you like a personality, but they're not delivering what they're supposed to be doing talent-wise. And I think that line is being blurred and that line is not being acknowledged. We could like you as a person and not like the way you're playing for our New York City. We don't like the way you're playing for New York, but we think you're a great guy. We was playing tennis or golf, maybe they invite you out to the celebrity golf game. Not that you would come, pause, but what we're saying is that we could separate the two. You could be an amazing person, but right now it sucks as a quarterback, pause. That's just what we're saying, and there's times when you're going to be a great quarterback and somebody may think you're a complete jerk as a person. And like I often says, it's possible for two things to be right at the same time.
Yeah, and I think what Ryan Clark is saying, what he meant when he's saying that it's over for Aaron, I think that what you said, Mo, was correct. Aaron Rodgers had money. He'll make investments. It may not be media-wise or anything else, but, to me, he got Pat McAfee to where Pat McAfee is. Not saying Pat McAfee couldn't did anything on his own, but not saying having a MVP Aaron Rodgers on your show every week doesn't hurt at all. But the reason to me Ryan Clark is saying that because Ryan Clark is not only a Super Bowl champion, he's made great strides in media. He renegotiated his contract at ESPN. He has to pivot. It was a time you can actually look it up on YouTube for the fans who don't know. Him and Stephen A had a heated debate when he told Stephen A that he would out-debate Stephen A before he was a full-time analyst. And I know they're cool now. That's more under the bridge. But I think Ryan Clark is saying that because he said, nigga, I got a career after football. Nigga, I'm on Monday Night Football every week. I'm on NFL Live. I'm on First Take. I'm on Sports Center. I have my own show, The Pivot, that's doing well. You'll never be able to do this because we see how you talk. And I just think that's what Ryan Clark meant. I don't think he meant
I got you.
Not saying you, Mo, because people probably think that too. I think Aaron Rodgers may be like, I don't care. I don't want to do what you're doing. I want to go invest in Wall Street or buildings or restaurants or whatever. But I think that's what Ryan Clark meant when he was saying that you'll never be able to do none of this because actually Ryan Clark won an Emmy as a sports journalist or analyst or whatever. He actually won an Emmy a year or two ago. So that's what I think he meant by that. Because you put this into perspective, right? Ryan Clark has an Emmy, and I'm not saying this maliciously, and Stephen A doesn't. And you look at Stephen A as the creme de la creme of sports, but he doesn't have an Emmy, and Ryan Clark does. So I think that's what Ryan Clark was talking about.
Do they pay you more when you get an Emmy?
I'm using that in my negotiation.
Yeah, come on. Ryan Clark, we got to get the numbers up, man. Holla at your boy, man.
No, he just did a new deal. His contract was up.
Yeah, they got to pay Ryan.
But they didn't talk about how much he got, but he was holding out. He was definitely holding out. He's like, get it together. But he ended up going back to ESPN. But yeah, that would definitely be part of my negotiation when I'm going to renegotiate. I'm winning Emmys over here, nigga.
That's definitely something to add.
Right.
Okay, so Magic Johnson spoke on the lack of modern day rivalries in the NBA. He said the Celtics, Lakers hated each other, disliked each other, so it made for great TV and people tuning in. I don't know what it is. Now everybody is shaking each other's hands. Everybody likes each other, won't go at each other. And yeah, that's basically what he said. So, Maurice, because he said something else, I don't need to say that. Maurice, do you agree? And then do you feel like players nowadays are too friendly?
Yeah, but this was strategic and done over time. You have to go back to why people invite me to universities and high schools to talk. When I used to do this, it was basically, in a nutshell, that's basically saying, hey, man, can you come and help us weed out all the niggas or tell the niggas how to behave so they can basically progress through this program, right? If you see me on somebody's campus, it was because of that, right? And so when I just look at it systematically over the years, all the people who they would bring in these systems, they would be taking out like inner city mentalities, competitive people, and the type of basketball or the type of personality that they basically wanted is the type of personality when we call them kids soft or passive or just nice kids. They didn't realize the fabric of sports would basically be messed up. And essentially that's what's happening. That's what Magic Johnson said. That's what you see everywhere, that the standing next to a responsible kid and them being next to your brand and being cordial and everybody gets a trophy, you've seen that basically elevate through the years. And that's kind of what we see in sports. And so he's talking about the end product. And I've just been a part of the inner workings because I was one of those people who got invited to basically help to weed out just that mentality that they just don't want on their campuses. So I get it.
So then, Mo, you was a part of the problem. You're helping weed out people.
Yeah, I mean, but I get it though. You know what I'm saying? They're basically saying like, we don't need degenerates. Before sports became like social media, I think messed it up when you started to see more of the craziness and the foolishness that goes on with players, right? And then it gets reported by everybody and so on and so forth, right? And so I just think a lot of these universities, and I don't know why this name pops up, but when you see stuff like Aaron Hernandez or people who've got in crazy trouble, these universities, be it college basketball or college football, it was like anything that resembles that personality or anybody who comes from these neighborhoods, we don't really want to be involved with them. And so when you look at most college kids, they're nice, they're passive, they're good kids who you would let date your daughter, but these aren't the kids who are fighting and needing these games to survive. You don't really have that mentality on a lot of campuses where kids are saying like, yo, this thing has to work, or I want to get out the hood. Like that's just not the mentality that used to be prevalent. It's not here no more.
Wow, that's sad. I don't even know what to say for that. I think I should pray about that. I don't even know what to say about that. That seemed like you took all of the I don't even know the words I want to use. Stat, help us out. Stat.
Well, I'm going to let Cam go first, give his thoughts, and then we can
take all the aggression out of it. Yeah. Pause. Like, so where the kids from? It's not the inner city? You're saying the inner city doesn't have this either, Mo?
No, I'm telling you, if you look at football strategically, right? Football, for the most part, a lot of these kids get birthed in these 7-on-7 leagues, right? When you get into these 7-on-7 leagues, you have to have resources in order to move around. There's a certain type of kid who they want playing, be it receiver, quarterback, defensive back, linebacker. That whole system of kids and just what's expected and who they are is totally different. This ain't Rucker Park. This ain't inner city Chicago. This ain't inner city Youngstown. It's not that vibe. You'll have elements of that stuff, but you don't really have that. And then even from a basketball standpoint, this is more trainer oriented. Look what Cam said. Like, and Twin is my man, but he's out there. He's breeding his kid. Twin grew up in the hood in Akron, but his kid ain't growing up like that.
Yeah.
And it's just a volume of those kids that you have now. And
they're blocking them, Mo. I hear it. Pause. They're blocking them from adversity. That's really what this is. You're blocking them from adversity. So as they're growing up, they're not going to the hood to play. They're not going certain places. No. You're even convincing them not to play against certain people. It's almost like you're picking their opponents. So as they get older, they don't really have that toughness, and that's why we're not seeing that. So I blame the parents, and I blame you, Mo, because they're paying you to go from team to team and soften the kids up. Pause, because that's what I heard you say.
No, listen to me. I just tell them just the choices that I tell them about my choices and where it landed me, right? And so I'm just there to help the kids make responsible choices. But if you bring me in before we get to talking, you're saying like, yo, I need you to specifically talk to these 5 after, but give the message to the whole team. But it's literally, man, could you help us tell these niggas to basically behave? Because we don't know how to communicate it, or we're not in a position to communicate it effectively.
But Mo, we need them to play it, pause, as hard as you played. Just don't do the stuff you did off the field, right? Isn't that the message?
Yeah, but all that stuff come with it. When you young and you wild and you you doing it, man, it come with it. But you here we go. I'll say this: instead of the kid changing, you don't really have the coaches who are built for that. I'll say that, and that's not at any coach, but you have more coaches who just don't know how to deal with that behavior, so they don't bring it on their campus. And when you bring the everybody gets a trophy kid, you see what you get.
Yeah, I seen a post one day on Twitter, I believe, and there was somebody around my age, and he said, my grandfather, he drove an Oldsmobile, and then my father drove a Mercedes. I'm driving a Lamborghini. My son is going to drive a Range Rover. His son is going to drive an Oldsmobile, and his son is going to be walking again because hard times make tough people. And when you're not going through hard times, sometimes you don't have tough people. And when you're in a situation like, I'll just use myself as an example. My son doesn't play sports, but I'm using myself as an example. And what you said, Mo, was absolutely correct. I don't really want my son doing the shit that I was doing growing up, or being in an environment, or being immune to gunshots outside your window, or be immune to fire engines or ambulances or police cars outside your window, or used to hearing people downstairs talking all night, or stuff like that. Because when you're in those situations, you want to get out of those situations.
That's true.
So at the end of the day, when you're playing sports, sometimes you're like, this is my way out. So when Mo was saying, when you had said that, Mase, Mo was saying that shit come with it. That's what he was, I think that's what he was trying to say. But he's basically saying, niggas is coming home to mansions and up condos and going to vacation in Lake Tahoe in France, and they like, man, I'm not practicing today.
Niggas is going to college for gaming.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So the point being is, it's an outlet, it's a backup plan to where when you're growing up in an era, it's no backup plan. And a lot of us didn't have fathers. Like the niggas in the street was more like big homies or fathers or uncles or whatever term you want to use. And them niggas, I'll just use me as an example. I didn't grow up with my father. So I would play ball for drug dealers and try and win games or get money from them or anything else. But at the same time, I would look at some of them like they stupid because they didn't know, look, it's something else going on. We go to NBA. This rap thing is going to happen. I remember niggas wouldn't give me Mase money to go to the studio.
Yeah, $200.
Yeah, we would just try to get money to go to the studio. Like, y'all niggas crazy, man. Go to the store for me.
It's $4.
Yeah, keep the change. So I used to look at them niggas like they stupid because they wasn't visionaries and they didn't see what was happening. And it's like, y'all niggas not going to last forever, not in no Harlem anyway. Y'all niggas is loud. If y'all getting money, the cops are coming. And then then when you look back on it, y'all really wasn't getting no money. Y'all niggas wasn't having no cars, jewelry like that. Y'all niggas was getting around in the MPV. That was cool. Yeah. But at the end of the day, y'all niggas wasn't seeing a vision. And what happens is, to me, you have a lot of fathers that didn't have fathers, and they're saying, okay, look, I don't want my son growing up in this. And it's translating into sports. I talked about it on the show or off the show. I was telling Mase and Larry, I don't remember who the fuck I was telling, but more of the story is, I have a friend to where he beat his son for not playing good in a football game. He was 6 or 7, not beat him to, he should be called to do something, but yeah, they embarrassed him. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? He said, Cam, you made it out. This is our way out. Don't worry about what we doing. And I'm like, yo, I was kind of uncalled for, and I asked the mother, and the mother was like, nah, he can't. This is our way out. You gotta relax on this. And then I asked the uncle.
Let's run our show.
Yeah. Then I asked the uncle later that day. I said, you think he should did that? He said, he be showing off in practice when the game comes. He ain't doing what he supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? All that shit in practice, killer, is cool, but when the game come, he acting crazy. He ain't gonna embarrass the family. So the point being is, I bet you the next game he had 99 yards rushing. He's 6. But this is certain way people's out. But when you're comfortable and you're saying,
it's
okay,
hard to get motivated.
Right. And not only that, that's one aspect of it. And I'm going to wrap up in a second, but everybody has a brand and people are figuring out ways to make money outside of sports. Even if you're an athlete, yo, look, I got this many followers. I could post this clothing brand, or I could advertise this sneaker and grab this or grab this money. You know, fuck is an influencer. Who are they influencing?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm an influencer. Word. You get paid for being an influencer because you have a lot of followers. Now you're an influencer. So that's another way to get paid. And I'm just saying there's different ways people are getting paid. And like I said, this isn't sports, it's translating in other things. OnlyFans, influencers, posting stuff on Instagram. I turn down all type of crazy shit all day. They offer me thousands of dollars to post shit that I just don't believe in, so I don't post it. But it's an opportunity. If I needed money, I'd be like, shit, I can make $3,000-$4,000 every week posting. So kids also are having the biggest time of their life branding themselves in junior high school and high school as well, to where they're not paying attention to the long run.
Did you know you could dress up like Spider-Man and make $4,000 a day on TikTok?
Oh yeah, like the NPCs. And it's crazy that I know what that is, but that's like a big thing. You can dress up and cosplay as anybody and make so much money on TikTok nowadays. It's cool though. Like they find ways to make money.
My homegirl make money sending pictures of her feet. It's crazy, man.
People ask
it's true, man.
me that all the time. Like,
what, ask you for pictures of your feet?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a thing.
A lot of money.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. She makes a living. No, I'm talking about that's what she does.
Do their feet have to be good looking?
Okay, so like tea, right? Like I found
out. Do you
out.
have to have coin? You can't have
some
coins?
people like that.
Yeah, some people into
Some people will pay extra for that.
Fam, I'll show you a page when we not on air. Another homegirl is on our page at least twice a week, and she got the panties going in the mail talking about they on the U at 1772 Houston. And it'd be like, niggas want bitches' panties after they wore them all day. That's another thing they make them money on.
I had a girl want to give me $100 to use my 64 Chevy because the guys like for them to rev the engine on their feet on just the old school cars, and they pay her for that. She was like, "I'm gonna give you $100 just to use your car."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, no, this is real. Like somebody literally asked me, or they sent me a link. Apparently, somebody made me a Wiki Feet page. I didn't even know what that was. They were asking. They didn't want the
Wiki Feet.
They didn't want. No, I swear.
No, listen.
Like,
I'm not capping. My homegirl don't work no more. Just sending feet pictures.
And they wanted private toe photos that weren't on the Wiki Feet. I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know I had a page because I don't. Like, if they would take the stuff off my Instagram and put it on there. It's like a whole website.
So your feet have a page?
Yes. And somebody's probably getting paid for that.
But it ain't right me. Now. I'm just trying to cross promote. Did you catch it?
For that. Whoever got that. Yes. If that's what they want to do.
Got my toes.
No, I just think it's crazy. People find a million one ways to make money, and that is one of them. That is not how I'm going to make it. Real quick before we go to break, just out of curiosity, do you guys have a favorite modern rivalry right now? Maurice, going to let you go first. Just wondering what your thoughts are.
That's pretty easy for me. Ohio State, Michigan. That's the modern rivalry. I think it's the biggest rivalry in all the sports.
And y'all are down.
He said Ohio and Michigan.
Yeah, they losing too. Yeah. I would say we, but that's maybe next season. Right? Y'all are down.
I'm dead.
I would go UNC and Duke, North Carolina and Duke.
Yeah.
I would have chose that if it was Dean Smith and them niggas, Roy Williams. But I got to go with Mo, man, because I know about that Ohio State, Michigan. They just pepper sprayed niggas.
Yeah, they wanted to make a felony for niggas.
Yeah, niggas trying to change the law and all that. It's a problem
they
out
hate
there.
Them niggas.
It's a problem with that rivalry. And like I said, I'm pretty close home to that. That's a problem, me. Because listen, that's what I was saying. And listen, we not going to even sit here and dwell on the past. But because I'm so happy for what Coach Day did for you, Mo, and I think that's amazing. Because when you didn't have a relationship with Coach Day last year, I remember how you felt. We won't get into it, but I remember.
You was the prodigal son. Yeah. You can't go home.
Yeah.
No, I was trolling. You know, you troll to get their attention.
You was
So
mad,
what I was really
nigga.
doing, I was trolling.
You was mad, nigga.
Yeah. So you trolling. So when somebody ignore me, I'll troll them to let you know, like, you just can't ignore me. I'm somebody in the space. So I would hijack the headline just by saying the craziest stuff. And so then he sat down with me, and I actually felt bad after I had a chance to meet him. And then it hit me. I was like, yo, this is the dude who's actually opening the door back up to basically come to the university. And so it made me feel silly and stupid when I sat down and talked to him and realized that the dude you actually making jokes about is actually like a decent dude. So that's just on the mature man side. And I was like, yo, I didn't even, it was just me trolling you and man for me not being down what's going on. And so we patched it up, hashed everything out, and eventually just moved on.
Nah, absolutely, man. Shout out to Coach Day, man. And I'm happy y'all got that done. And good luck to you guys in the playoffs.
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's going down.
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock.
Fire. And then as of recent, mine was the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff, which will be interesting because Saturday USC will play UConn. So Paige Beckers versus Juju Watkins. That'll be an interesting one to see.
Oh,
so
Paige versus Juju.
yeah, that's a good one.
Paige can't do nothing with Juju.
We will see Saturday.
Paige is nice. I like Paige,
Super nice.
super nice, but not Juju nice.
Well, listen, man, I'm going to say this. I talked about this girl when she's in high school. Rutgers freshman Naomi McMillan, a.k.a. McBuckets. Y'all need to go see this freshman in Rutgers. She's not getting the national spotlight that she needs to get. I understand why she went to Rutgers because her green light is crazy. And she's doing shit that's ridiculous. Make sure y'all go see her. Naomi McMillan is crazy freshman for Rutgers. I like to see her get some more national games. Make sure y'all pay attention to what she got going on. So I would like to see her against Juju because she's one of these females that want a problem.
How tall is she?
I'm not sure offhand, probably, but she doesn't look small. But
okay.
Juju's kind of tall, but I don't think she's that short. But
she from the East Coast?
North Carolina. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Me and you were talking on air about it last season, and you was telling me about somebody you knew, and then I was telling you about.
Yeah, I remember her.
Right, and that was.
She had the boogie.
Yeah. Yo, fam, she just did some shit.
Crazy.
McBuckets. Make sure y'all go check.
Oh yeah, then she probably ready for Juju because East Coast guard. We come with a different mentality.
Yeah. See, the thing about it is, what I learned when I went to college is that, and I went to college in the Midwest, so you had kids all over the place, is that we up there killing you and they're just dribbling and stopping on a fast break and getting it to. And I'm like, where'd you learn that to just stop at 17 feet?
It's just Ray Allen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about,
straight up.
When we grew up, you got to go to the basket. Imagine you dribbling and just get right in the three-point line and stop on a fast break. You like, oh, that's what y'all got in Louisiana. That's what y'all got going on. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think she's phenomenal, Naomi.
Really quick.
She's from Maryland.
Kiyomi?
Oh, Kiyomi. I'm saying the whole shit.
Miller. Yeah, I was like, because I met her Jordan Brand. She's a Jordan Brand athlete, and she's younger. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kiyomi, I'm super. Listen, Kiyomi, I apologize because I've been saying your name since last year. I like the Omi part, right? So pardon me, but at the end of the day, she's a problem. I'm sorry I was pronouncing it wrong. She is a super duper problem. You know what? I'm just going to call you McBuckets so we don't even confuse shit. McBuckets for Rucker. She is a problem. So apologies to me for mispronouncing your name. But I'll follow her on the gram, all that. She's a problem.
Super dope. She's Kaomi, the product.
Yeah.
Miller. There you have it. So make sure y'all tap in because she's definitely been doing her thing. Okay, also, Dennis Rodman got called out by his daughter. We'll talk about it after the break. Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day. On Saturday, the Texans will play Titletown, the Chiefs. Underdog has CJ Stroud at 230.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher. He gonna need it.
I'm gonna go lower. I think been a little down with. I mean, CJ's good, but Diggs is out. Yeah, I think about 220. I'll go lower.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes is at 225.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
This nigga won't sit down. This nigga won't sit down, bro. Yo, this is crazy, man. This nigga said, I ain't listening to nobody. This nigga's a monster. Whatever is higher. I don't even know what to know. 225, whatever. He had 150 yards last game. He hasn't been throwing for a lot of yards. Matter of fact, I'm going to go lower. They still been winning. He hasn't been passing a lot, but I'm just more impressed that the nigga's going to play. And then play on Christmas is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm going higher. You know I got to go higher.
Okay.
It's the Pat show.
Yeah. Travis Kelce's at 49.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Who?
Travis Kelce.
How many yards?
49.5 receiving.
I'm going higher.
Higher.
Okay. If you guys like these picks, remember you always get a free pick if you're not already on Underdog. So make sure to support the show, sign up now, and you can make your picks too. So Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity, spoke up against her father for his absence. She said, he's not a dad, maybe by blood, but nothing else. Hearing his voice is painful. He then made a public apology with some point saying, sorry, I wasn't the dad you wanted me to be, but either way, I still tried and I still try and never will stop. I will keep trying even when you're being told as an adult not to respond to my phone calls. I will try even when it's difficult and if it takes a long time. Obviously, this is a very private discussion brought to the public. So, Maurice, do you feel like there's a limit on what should be discussed on these platforms? And how do you feel about what both of them had to say regarding their relationship?
Yeah, I think it's a limit. I think that she's out of bounds for even talking about their personal dealings. And I think she's old enough to be aware, but when you start to do stuff like that, you're trying to shame somebody to get other people to view that person in a bad light. And I just think, like, if you just see somebody bringing something up about your parent, and especially if you have a notable parent, or a friend, a notable person, I just believe that the personal stuff needs to be held private. But I also say, like, and I've been around, be it spoiled kids or kids who have parents who don't have traditional lives like their friends. And oftentimes kids get caught up into looking at their friends' lives and not realizing that their parent, if they're a notable figure, if they're a professional athlete, that the way that they generate their money, the character that they became and what they have to do doesn't mimic people. And there's resentment. There's parents who feed into that shit. And so I just think, like, as she grows older, as she gets into relationships and as she starts to deal with niggas, she gonna start to see that her father is probably ain't bad. He's just living life and trying to figure the shit out like everybody else. But I just feel like certain shit shouldn't be public information.
That was actually great take. I'm just going to add two simple points to that. I want everybody to realize two things. Number one, the internet is not your friend. The internet is not your friend. Don't go venting to the internet because the internet is not your friend. And the second thing I want you to remember is that the internet is not forgiving. So though tomorrow you change your mind, whatever you said, whatever you done, whatever you thought about, it's going to be right there to play again, even though you no longer feel that way. And the person you now have talked about, you don't feel that way about them. They will still be there to haunt you the rest of the way. So make sure you use the internet appropriately. It's not your friend, and it's not forgiving.
You ate.
Yeah, that's a great point. Absolutely. But she's probably only seeing what she sees other kids do. We see Russell Simmons' daughter act crazy towards Russell Simmons, and I'm just thinking off top of my head. And Mase made a great point. The second point was even better than the first point. If you change your mind and want to be cool again, they're gonna remember what you did originally. That was the best point you could get. But at the end of the day, it's a trend. I said this on the show last week, I believe. This is the new diary. Yeah. Just run out there and tell your damn business to everybody. And so this is a diary with that talks back to you so you can get comments. That's wrong. This is messed up. This, that, and the third. Everything ain't for everybody. I don't have a lot to say on it. Mo and Mase had made some great points. So.
And on the internet, we're so interested. I'm new to the internet, but it seemed like everybody get paid off your pain. That's crazy. Like, you will sit there and be venting to someone else, and then all through the YouTube and everywhere else, everybody got a page about a portion of what you said. So not only are you shaming yourself, people are getting paid off your shame. That's crazy.
Mase, you're getting paid off to say right now.
I was going to say that. It seems like.
See? And you're sitting somewhere crying, and we're getting paid. So stop it. Stop it right now. I remember there was a Chris Rock special, right? Chris Rock said, nobody cares. And he was talking to his kids. It was a comedy, but he was talking to his kids and telling them nobody cares. And I just thought it was so hilarious because he was looking for that sense of just somebody to nurture and care. And he was trying to get them to grow up and recognize that the thing that you're actually going through, you got to figure it out. That's what life is about. And it should be people there to help you, not saying that your dad shouldn't be there. But, you know, there's certain things you got to figure out. And sometimes we're not in a place where we have a dad, or we're not in a place where we have a mom. And I remember one time a guy said this to me, and I felt really bad. I'm like, man, these niggas is doing better than me because they got a father. I don't have a father. And the guy, it was a church guy. He told me this. He said, maybe God didn't trust your dad to raise you. You wouldn't be who you are right now if he raised you.
Oh, wow.
And I had to realize that was the truth. So sometimes you're crying about something that you really shouldn't be crying about. You just don't know yet that it was in your benefit, probably, that they weren't there. Definitely. If they couldn't help you.
Wow. Strong statement, but like it's perspective.
There we go.
So yeah. And then just on her part, basically she said the motive was never to make, Dennis Rodman look bad. And that is at the cost of holding a lot in for herself. So she said she feels like it's an anger thing that she hasn't really been able to let out. So it's been pretty difficult for her.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that her father shouldn't be there. That maybe there should have been another person that could have been that father figure that could have played that role that he wasn't there to do, because you do need both mom and dad to kind of be balanced in a way. But sometimes when that person is not there, grandmother played a mother's part, or a grandfather or uncle or somebody, a coach or something, end up playing the father part. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't need your dad, because you definitely need your dad. A lot of your identity is connected to him.
Okay, and then Mike Tyson, he says he doesn't remember much of the fight. He said...
I didn't even read
this. Every time we get this so serious.
And there's no transition for it, but yeah. He said he doesn't remember much of the fight. He said, I kind of blanked out a little. I remember coming back from the first round and Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know what he was doing. And that's the last thing I remember. Gotta love Mike. Maurice.
Wait, no, I gotta, let me go before you go. So Mike doesn't remember the fight.
He said he doesn't remember it that much.
He doesn't remember.
Blanked out.
And that's when you know you love an athlete, when somebody can tell you, hey, I don't remember the fight, and you're not mad. Nobody's mad at Mike. We just happy Mike made a few dollars. Mike was able to finesse the boxing after all Don King finessed out of him. So, Mike got a pass in my book. If Mike don't remember it, I knew it was a money grab even when he was sitting in here. Mike 60, he made a few million. Let Mike live, man.
Yeah.
But not being able to remember the fight is crazy. Was he high?
Yeah, absolutely. Before the Roy Jones fight, man, he was getting high in the locker room. So I'm pretty sure he was getting high before this fight too. Mike, and even when he was doing the interview, talk about my man was fried, but Mike deserved it. These is Mike reparations. Mike on his own reparation tour right now, and he deserves it. So shouts out to Mike. And Mike can't remember the shit just because.
Yeah, let Mike get his money, man. They said Mike got a strand called Knockout. Maybe he was smoking his own strand.
Yeah,
the Knockout.
Yeah. All you need to know about this fight is before the fight, Mike did an interview with his ass out, man.
He was fried.
On national. Nigga whole ass was out with 9 niggas in the room walking around, man.
That's when you know you're a tough nigga, when niggas won't even tell Mike, yo, Mike, put on some shorts.
But this is, so after that, he said he's always been that way his whole career, and he thought it was ridiculous that people, were saying that. He said he's like that.
Like what?
Walking
Bare
around
butt.
with his ass out?
Bare butt.
Bare butt is wild.
That's what he said. That's literally what he said. He was like, I don't know why people think this is crazy. I was like this the whole time. I can't do his voice. I don't got no Mike Tyson.
Crazy.
He's super scared of Mike, yo. Mike walking around bare butt, pause, and niggas won't say nothing.
I'm gonna keep it 100, man. The cameraman didn't have to show that. The cameraman's a sucker for even panning down, showing the world that shit, man.
I think that was in the contract, Kill. I think Jake Paul told him, we'll pay you an extra 50 for the buns out. Make it 100 and you got it.
You see, you know me, I usually have a lot to say, but I be bumping in the mic. I ain't got time for it. See, you bumping the mic the wrong place. He tell you take your buns out. Pause, Mike. You got time for Mike.
You remember
man.
Mike was talking to Boozy, right? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. That's why I never did Mike's show after he did the Boosie interview. Because I ain't going to front. Boosie handled that about as good as you can handle it, man. He said, yo, Mike, I'm straight as an arrow, man. That was crazy, man. Yeah.
There's some niggas Mike can sit on their lap. They won't do Niggas say, Mike, why you out? Niggas just sit right there.
That's what I'm saying. And I know Mike like that. After I seen the Boosie interview, and then I seen the Little Nas X interview, I said, I ain't going on Hot Box. I know Mike. I love Mike. Mike, that's my man, but you don't know what Mike you getting. Lil Nas X said, you don't even know who I am. Nigga Mike said, who the fuck you are, man? Fucking nigga with the cowboy hat naked and shit, man. Why the fuck you think you here? I said, yo, Mike is ruthless, man.
He said it here when he was on the shrooms. He said they kicked in right now.
Yeah.
When he was on the show here.
Mushroom Mike is crazy.
That's exactly what that is. Yo, you have no words. Last thing I'll say
that I see Mike in the airport, man.
Yeah, Killer ain't gonna say nothing. Mike be on his flight.
That's what I'm about to say. Me and Mike got the same. We live in the same city, so like bumping into Mike in the airport, and he be like, "Yo, what was so funny?" Everybody, she's like, "Y'all niggas fly different routes. Y'all niggas don't mean me and Mike got the same plane routes. I don't got time for that shit. Y'all niggas go to which cities y'all go to? Me and Mike, we live in the same 2 cities, man. Actually, the same 3 cities. I don't got time.
Yeah,
I just giggled, Mike. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have time for that either.
Yeah, Mike, we was just playing. Mike definitely gonna go sit on niggas' lap.
That's what I'm about to say. You see Mike on the flight and he comes sit on your lap and talk about get the picture. Nobody got time for that, bro.
Facts. Speaking of time, that is all the time that we have for today.
Hey, Killer, thanks for the bag, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Happy holidays, man. You know, I'm trying to get it to you earlier, man. But there's coming to America.
I hope Mike don't be on my flight. Mike don't take my bag.
Maurice, thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Mo, love,
Merry
man.
Christmas, man.
Happy holidays to y'all, brothers.
Likewise,
Stat and Larry and everybody in the studio.
Yep.
Same to you. And happy,
everybody subscribe for Christmas. Everybody subscribe.
Yeah, man. We almost are like 800 if we not, man. We trying to make it to 1 million. So we appreciate all our subscribers. Everybody who watch the show, man. Just hit the subscribe button, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yes. And happy holidays to you guys all as well. This is our last episode of this season. So we will see y'all in the new year, but of course, we'll be back. So make sure y'all subscribe to stay tuned for the next
January 6th, we'll be back.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Real quick, don't run down on me in the street talking about why January 6th. I told somebody that already, and they like, yo, what you mean January 6th? Yo, we have it's holidays and we
y'all
taking
niggas is getting too Hollywood.
Yeah, yo.
Y'all getting too much money.
I told niggas already, they like, what you mean January 6th? Yo, it's family time. Please do not run down on me if you see me talking about why is the show on hiatus. We're not on hiatus. It's Christmas and New Year's.
Yes. So thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.